So this is what you are going to build. So when we click, options will come over here, and there will be a filter mechanism also and clear button to clear this all out. So once you click, these options will get listed, and when you click outside, this will get closed. So let's see how we can build this in the best way. Hey everyone, so you must have seen these kind of search bars, right? Where you click on this and there are a couple of suggestions, and when you start searching, the suggestions keep popping up, right? And when you click outside, these gets open and close. So this is what a functionality that we are going to develop. You can again put it in your app, maybe it's your uh, portfolio, or maybe you're building a shopping cart or a shopping website, right? So I have a code sandbox open with me, and this is being run with Tailwind. So as you know, we are going to create an animated search bar, and yes, Framer Motion is also going to get used. So I will quickly install Framer Motion here, and if you are using VS Code, just do npm I and space Framer Motion, just like that, and this will be loaded into your app as dependencies, right? So let's start the development process. So here, I'll create a new component folder here. I'll write as component, and inside component folder, what I'll do is I'll create a new file which is called search dropdown, right? So I'll create a file which says search dropdown.jsx, and in this file again we're going to write export const search drop down the file name, because we are going to make it as a component, and it is going to return us a, let's say, a div for now. Okay, yes, and drop down, I'll just put it here, and I'll quickly import it into our search drop down. I'm not sure why it is not coming. So export const search drop down, right? So let me just go back and import it. Okay, it's not getting imported, but let me just do it manually. Code Sandbox actually imports it manually, but I don't know why it is not doing it abhi. So yes, and we'll write search dropdown, and we'll hit save. The dropdown is right here. What is it saying? Okay, it's just some random error from Code Sandbox, but yeah, we are able to see the drop down here. So let's go back and let's start building our drop down component. So as you saw, there is an opening state and then there is a closing state, right? So what we will do is we'll quickly add a is open state, that is open, and set is open, which is going to be a use state, and it gets auto initially it is going to be false. Yes, right. I'll write const here, my bad. So initially it is going to be in open state, and now there will be a search term, right? The term that we are actually going to search, right? Set search term, which is going to be use state, and initially the search term is going to be an empty string, and again we will need a container reference, container ref. For what reason do we need this container ref? Because we need to close it when clicked outside, so we need to keep a track of what element is there, right? So container ref, we are going to put it as a reference, that is we're going to use a ref here and auto imported just like this. Now is open state, set open state is here. Now we will need a like couple of search options. So right, so I have a data set already with me, so I'll just quickly put the data set over here. You can again, link of everything will be in the description, you can go and check it yourself, right? So we have the data set with us, and now what we'll do is we'll quickly start adding the more code, right? First of all, this is going to contain a container reference, because this is the state that we're going to, I mean, this is the element that we're going to track whether, what is going to happen, right? So first of all, what we'll have to do is we will have to add a input, right? So let's quickly wrap it into a input. If I save it, let's see if an input is coming. I'll just refresh. Okay, something is still wrong. Okay, my bad. Input is here. I think some CSS is taking over. Let me just go and remove the CSS if there is any. Index.css is here. But yeah, okay, I'll just quickly add a placeholder so that this is more visible. Placeholder, and we'll exactly write what is written over here. So I'll just search for products, brand, and more. So I'll write search for product, brand, and more. So if I save it, you'll see search for products, brands, and okay, I'll give it a more width, but I think for now we can just keep it as it is. So since search is going to be a controlled component because we need to keep a track of what is being entered here, so we'll put a value. Value, what is going to be value? Value is going to be the search input. Okay, this is search term, my bad, it's called search term. So yeah, search term is here. And similarly on change we have to do something, right? On change, what we're going to do is on change we'll quickly first of all we'll do a set search term is going to be e dot target dot value. Now you'll ask where is e, so e we have to get it from here. And yes, this is saved. Now if I write something here, uh, Apple, yes, it is being written, right? So some of our work is done here. And again, let me just put few class names. So yeah, one more thing that I have done here is in Tailwind config.js, I just have added a prefix. This is just my practice. I add TW before doing anything in Tailwind. So I'll write TW border, TW border solid, and if I hit enter, you will see a border will be coming. And again, we can give a TW padding X of 1 rem and padding Y of 2 rem. So if I just py, I'll write py, and if we hit enter, you will see we have at least now it's visible. And we need so rounded corners. So for rounded corners, we'll just give TW rounded of probably XL. I'm not sure how big it will look, but yeah, I think this is looking just fine. Also, since we need to when we click, we need to add open a drop down just like this one. So if when we click on the search, something opens, right? So for that, we also need to have another div, right? So we need to add that thing over here. But before that, we need something to clear this also. So we'll create a button. That button will just act, say, clear for now. And yeah, it's clear here. And if I quickly add the states for button, okay, on click, what I'm going to do is on click we are simply going to clear the search term, right? So on click, what we are going to do is we are going to invoke a like call a function here. What we'll do is set search term as empty. And yeah, I think this is let's see if it's working or not. So I'll write hello, and if I turn clear, this is getting cleared, right? So again, I'll write Apple. If I click on clear, it is getting cleared, right? So this is also here. And right now, if you see, clear is always visible, but we can put a condition on clear that this will only be visible once there is actually something in the search term. So if search term is here, then only show clear. So now if I enter Apple, now you can see this will come, otherwise it will not come. So now we actually need is a drop down that opens when when anything is searched here, right? So let's put a drop down state also. So okay, we already have a drop down state, right? So once something is changed, set is open to true, and also when this is done, set this to false, right? Now, since we are going to use framer motion and we are going to put a like a smooth animation over here, so we'll have, since this is going to get away from the DOM, right? So we need to add a animate presence wrapper, which will actually do uh, which will actually take care of the animation when it enters and when it exits, when it's removed from the DOM, right? So animate presence is required. So if you want a separate video for this, do let me know in the comment section to explain what does animate presence actually do. So inside animate presence, we have to actually put is open state, and we have to check if is open is true. What are we going to do is, okay, my bad. I think I added the wrong brace. Okay, we have to add a circular brace is open. And if is open is here, what we have to do is we have to open a motion div, because again, this is going to be an animated thing. So we have to open a motion div. Make sure we are opening a motion div, not a simple div, because of that animate presence, and also we import motion here. So motion div is here. So let me just write something Apple, Mac, something, right? So if I just click and save, if I search something, you can see a div is coming. I mean, definitely it's not what we intend, but at least it is coming. Let's live with that for now. So in motion dev, what we are going to do is we have to actually render whatever was in the array, right? So search options, what we'll do is, but we have to implement a filter also. So let's do one thing. Let's actually put another state, right? Something called filtered options, or maybe, okay. So yeah, let's quickly create a function which is called filtered option. Okay, not a function, but again, a value. This is going to be a value which will actually filter this data from the search term, right? So what I mean is, so I'll write search options dot filter, right? And whatever the value is here, if value dot to lowercase, right? So whatever is here, we have to change it to lowercase. If it is inside, or if this value includes whatever is searched, that is includes the search term. That means if this value, I mean, any of this value includes whatever is searched, and we have to also change it to lowercase. If this is searched, give us some value. So since filter actually returns an array, so we'll simply copy this value, and instead of search options, we will actually put filtered options over here. So I'll write filter options dot map, and again this is going to have a value, and this value is going to return us what? This value is going to uh, return us a, again, a motion div, because again, we are going to animate this. So this is here, and what will motion div contain? Motion div will actually have the value. So right now, if I'll just save it, and if I open, okay, let's do one thing. Even on click, we can do this, but yeah, right now, if you see, the search options are coming, is open is set here, and we also have to do one more thing. We can put a use effect, and this use effect will actually check if search term, if search term dot length is triple equal to 0, then we've also set is open to false, right? So that's why in fact this was not opening. So I will simply search Apple, and if I just do this, this will just go away, right? If I again put Apple, this is coming, and right now this will just go away, right? So I think the basic functionality we have done, but now let's work on making it more beautiful. So whatever we have created, let's make it more beautiful and better. So for this, let's start with the first motion div, that is the one that actually contains the whole container. So actually this is, I'll just give it a border so you have a fair idea. So I'll add a class name over here, class name of TW border and TW border solid. If I just save it, you'll see this is actually coming. So this is the whole div that we are going to animate on the very first. Okay, div is here, motion div is here, right? So let's just put it into the next line. And right now, initial, what are we going to do is initially the opacity is going to be 0, right? And when animate happens, we're going to put opacity as 1, right? And there is going to be a delay that is going to happen. So we are going to add a transition, my bad, transition. And in transition, we are actually going to add a delay, a very small delay of probably 0.05 and of the index value. So okay, if I okay, I'll tell you what I'm saying. So 1.3 will add. So if I save it, and now if I we clear this, and you see something happened. It actually faded in, right? So but it all of the everything faded all at once. So what I'll do is I'll quickly uh, put a 0.2 value over here, and I will multiply it with the index. What is index here? Okay, my bad. Index we are not having here. So we'll probably use this property in the other part in this particular. So also we can just copy whole of this and exactly paste it into this part, because this will have index and the other one is not having index. So we'll just remove this transition from here because we have to animate the individual key. So if I write something, you see it is the speed is a very slow, but I'll just quickly put it as 0.09, 0.09. Yeah, if I save it now, if you will see, this will happen very quickly. If I clear and if I write, you see there is an animation in which this is coming. I think still it's heavy value. I'll just put it as 0.05 into I. I is 0, I is 1, I is 2, and I is 3 over, right? So I think we are clear on this particular part. Now what we have to do is we have to actually uh, animate the opacity we have animated, and right now it appears all of the sudden, right? So what we'll do is we will make it appear from top to bottom. So we will add a initial y value of -20, and when it happens, I mean when we animate, we will put y as 0. And if you see, and when it hides again, that is the exit. Exit is the place where animate presence works. So at exit again, we have to make the opacity as 0 and y again back to the initial value. So without animate presence, exit prop is not going to work. Be cognizant of this. So if you see, if I write apple is here, and if I remove, you see it just went away. If I write A, it came back, and if I hit back, it went away. It went on the upper side. Similarly, again, I think we can add a exit to this instead of yeah. So we can add a exit to this also. Let's see how this particular thing works. I also have to try. If I remove, okay, this is coming and this is coming. I think the speed is a little less here. We don't have the delay is not here, but this is fine. I guess we have the fair idea of, like, at least some part of that is clear. So let's do one thing. Instead of giving this a border, okay, this animate presence, instead of giving this a border, what we'll do is we will give border to the main div, right? So we'll write class name and we'll save this. If I save this, I think, yeah, this is fine. And I think out we can just remove the border on overall. So this is the input, right? For input class name, hover will write out tw outline none, hover tw border none. So if I save this, I think when I click that, This is not here, but somehow the border is okay. Also, uh, TW outline, outline generally is also none. So if I save this, I think that problem will just go away. Now, if I enter something, you see clear is here. So also for clear, so we have the main div, we have added this py is also added. And for clear, let's also give this uh, tw padding x of 4 and padding y of 2, right? So tw padding y of 2. If I, you see now at least it is looking a little better. So maybe we can add a width of tw 200. Okay, tw, maybe I have to check how much we can do. Tw maybe okay, I'll just give a 300 pixels random value. I'm not sure how much it will be, but okay, I think this is fair. Yeah, this is working perfectly how we wanted it to work. So we can now just do very basic things. Again, we can put a rounded of Excel here. Instead of this, we can put a rounded Excel. Okay, my bad. Just undo this. Okay, wait a second, 200 and 300 pixels like this. And this we can cut and we can paste it here so that it looks a little better than earlier. And also here, this also need to be so that these corners are not cut. And similarly, the same thing can be added to this particular div. I'll just put it here and a little bit of space also, margin top of maybe 8 pixels. So if I search, or maybe, okay, I'll just refresh. If I write Apple, okay, this also needs some padding. TW padding of 2 or maybe padding of 4. This also works. So now you can see this, we entered Apple, or we can also do one thing on this we on change. There is another thing called on mouse up. On mouse up, we can simply do this. So on mouse up, you can simply invoke a function and do this, set true. So as soon as I click, you see, and if I click back, I think that is not happening. So yeah, so another problem now we've encountered that when we click outside, the list is not getting closed. So for that, we can actually create a custom hook which helps us in this particular thing. So I already have a custom hook created for you. So I'll just simply uh, paste it here. And if I, so after the return function, if I just, okay, this is fine, this is fine. And let me just paste it, a reference, this is fine. Okay, this is wrong. So yeah, so I'll just save this and I'll refresh. A reference was already here, handler is here. Okay. I think something is still running in here. Or okay, let me just comment this and save and see if things are okay. I think something is wrong with how this custom hook is built. So yeah, I'll just, now is the current logic. And this use outside click, we can simply use here. Let me just check the implementation. So use how outside hook, we can quickly put it outside of the component. And whenever container ref, this particular thing is even a target, yeah, this will work. So I'll just save and I'll refresh, and you see, I, this is fine, this is here, this is here. And if I search Apple, and if I do this, you see this is again going back to how it was. And yes, the this is also working. The clear button is also working. So yeah, that's it. I think we have successfully built not exactly what Flipkart built here, but something of that sort, but I think in a better and in an animating way, right? I think this was really helpful to me again, because it's been a while that I did this. So if you found this video helpful, do subscribe to the channel, and I think a lot more of the content similar to this will be coming. And if you have more questions, and if you want me to specifically build something, I'm open to suggestions and happy to do it for the community. So that's all for this video, and I will see you in the next one. Bye bye.